Well, actually, before we go, Gabe, I want to ask you about your trip to Colorado. I know we talked a little bit off about it offline, but you were just in Colorado, right? You saw some games there. You saw the Nuggets and stuff like that, right? You got some new videos on YouTube, right?
Yeah. You know, I chose to go to Colorado because for one, I've never been there, and then two is, for those who may or may not know, my girlfriend, Natalie, she's a Giants fan, and ever since
Boo.
I've
No.
ever since we've been together,
So that's why we've never seen her, huh?
I don't know.
My girlfriend from Canada.
uh,
She
but
goes to
no,
another
so
high school, goes to another school.
right.
She goes to another baseball stadium.
Right. But pretty much ever since I've met her, obviously she's been very supportive for the stuff that I do, and she's been going to a lot of A's games, and that includes going to other team stadiums. Pretty much every stadium that she's visited has been for the Oakland A's rather than her own team. So like before any of this happened, I decided, I think it's only fair that we go to a Giants one. So I told her, she's always
There you
wanted to
go,
go to
Gabe.
Denver. So I said, let's go to Denver. The Giants are playing the Colorado Rockies over there, and we'll go, and we can do whatever you want. I said, if you want to go all three, which is something I would like to do, just because I like to explore everything, we could do that. If you just want to go for 2 games, 1 game, whatever, we could do that too. And we originally were going to go there just for 2 games, and then explore Colorado, and then that's when she was like, you know what, I do want to go to all three, just because she said the same mindset of like she wants to explore the entire stadium and see what other teams have. And then little did we know that the Denver Nuggets were going to be in the playoffs, and they made it to the second round. And it just so happened that as we flew in, that that same day they were going to do a game later on that night. So we purposely rescheduled our flight to come in earlier so we can watch the Denver Nuggets game and have a
Nice.
little bit more time in Denver. And then you guys probably saw, at least on my Twitter, which I know Hal saw for sure. And I'm gonna try to do it the best I can, but I didn't so I did record the game. It just there's no sound, and the reason why is because when I went to the game for the Denver Nuggets game, I switched to a wireless microphone, and it
Mhm.
was like the ones that most people have. They clip on your pants, and the wires go through your shirt, and they have it right here. Because I didn't think they were gonna let me bring in my boom mic, the one that's on my camera right now. So when I switched it back, I unplugged everything and plugged it back together. But this cord was supposed to go into this one, and this one's supposed to go into that one. So I had it the opposite
Ah,
way.
damn.
So, and of course, when I'm recording, I can see the volume from my voice, and I don't know why. I just didn't. I just thought everything was fine, and didn't even bother. So as soon as I plugged in my SD card into the computer and I put it into Adobe Premiere Pro, it just all the levels were down, and I thought, no, maybe it's just because it hasn't loaded yet. And I pressed play, nothing. Every
Damn.
single clip is nothing. But
I want to hear your Foley
yeah.
work, man, you know? The
And
road
I
code.
Dude,
right.
I don't know how you pump out your
Number
videos so
six,
fast.
Sucker Field.
One
Yeah.
way, the one way I chose, or I figured out how to do it fast is, um, it's kind of weird because I guess I don't really know how to really explain it other than I just know what to record or what I kind of plan for. Because it's weird because I say I know what I want, but I actually don't, because
You don't know
any
what's gonna
game I go
happen, right?
to,
Yeah, you don't know
it
what's
just, yeah, any game is unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen. And so like for me, it's just like I know I need a beginning, middle, and end. And so like as I'm going, I kind of just I make an intro, and then I go from, okay, I made an intro, so like how am I gonna start this? Is like, am I gonna try to get autographs? Am I gonna try to get baseballs? Am I gonna try to get try some new food? And from there I kind of just build the story as it goes. Sometimes things happen unexpectedly to where, maybe I catch a home run, maybe a foul ball thing happens, maybe, somehow I get close enough and I, meet someone famous, or, something like that. And that kind of takes over, and I record more of that. And then later on, when I'm recording, everything's kind of laid out, and I start deleting stuff. I don't. I think Rob knows this the best. Is after I record stuff, I record one thing, and if I mess up, I delete the entire thing, and I don't keep it in the SD card.
That's
Because for me,
smart.
it's like
Yeah,
it's a waste of time to go back and look through each one and be like, oh man, I messed up on this part, or whatever.
Mm.
So for me, I just like as soon as I when I'm recording people like hitting, and they don't hit, delete. Hit, no hit, foul ball, delete. And so, Rob will watch me too. Sometimes I'll be going back and forth, and this dude's hitting like 9 pitches, fouling it up, and I'm like, dude, can you please just hit the ball, man? Come on. So, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. And sometimes I rely on the game to do it for me. Like sometimes none of that happens, and I just have to rely on the game telling the story itself. So for me, like I said, yeah, I just delete a lot of the stuff. In my head, I know kind of where I'm gonna go based off of what I have, and hopefully, it turns into a good video. And like I said, like I think the main part is I don't put a lot of graphics in. There's some graphics that I put in, like the intro, obviously that's pre-made. The outro is pre-made, and the little click subscribe thing, that's pre-made. The only thing that's not pre-made is the last dive bar thing. That one I have to manually do. But other than that, like, yeah, that's pretty much it. But
Yeah, dude, 'cause
sometimes
I'm trying to do road trip videos and it's taking me forever. Like I'm still on videos from like 2 weeks ago in Baltimore. I'm like, how does Gabe get him up the next day? I'm like, Jesus. So, I've been watching your stuff and like
Practice,
trying to
practice,
take tips.
practice.
No, I mean that's the thing. I'm watching your stuff like critically now. Like, how does he do this? And like
and
you're good at like narrating the action too. Cause I have a lot of B-roll of cool stuff, but there's no
He's quiet.
context. So you're like, what inning? Like what the hell's going on? You hear people
Now-
cheering, but you're like, what the hell's going on? So I gotta do a
Now,
better job of that too,
I've watched Alex do this. I was critically watching Alex when he was taking all these recordings in Baltimore. And I want to ask you, Gabe, did you find it makes you a better videographer if you spend 3 hours before the game getting drunk and then smoking a ton of weed inside the stadium? Does that make it? Are you a better narrator or worse narrator?
well,
if you
answer
do
that.
well, I wouldn't know
You're
because
so critical, Al.
I don't do either of those things.
Yeah.
So
Alex.
I personally wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Listen.
know either. I don't know. This is all hypothetical. Yeah,
That
it's all
could be like a what's it called? That could be like a thing that helps him, if that's
A
something
muse.
that
His
helps
muse.
him.
Oh yeah,
I
helps
mean-
with the helps
I
with
mean-
the interviews. I really unlock the people's personalities.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh
one
my
thing.
God.
break down their barriers.
Yeah.
In Baltimore, we were sitting around and Alex went for a while. Like we went around and like started talking to somebody. We went up and we talked to Alex from Schools Over Stadiums and stuff. We get back to the seats and the fan who was sitting next to us earlier in the game, he goes, "Where'd you guys go?" Alex turns to me and goes, "I got no idea." I'm like, oh my God, Alex, come on.
I gotta look at the. I'm actually about to look at the footage for Saturday and Sunday, so we'll see.
We're
Hopefully,
trying to
it's
be
gonna be
presentable
like
here.
all. It's gonna be
Yeah,
all
he's like, I got no idea where we went. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Alex, come on, bud.
I will tell you, Alex. There's one video in particular that I've had it was the hardest one I had to make. It was the reverse boycott one because that one I was so stressed out about because a lot of people were basically telling me like, oh, well, you're like the main person who, as coming from a fan, you're recording it. This is going to be something that's seen for a while. Like this is going to get a lot of attention, a lot of views. So to me, I was like, this has to be perfect. The only thing is what the thing I just told you where I was like, I had everything mapped out.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously my videos are about like 10 minutes to 12 minutes. I'm trying to make them a little bit longer for this season just because of how things are. But for me, I like trying to fit all that in 10 minutes is very difficult. And I know there's probably somebody out there that can make that happen where they can make that in 10 minutes. For me, I found that difficult because there's so much stuff in there that needed to be shown that at one point or another, I lost track of in my head of what I recorded. So where when I came home that night, mind you, I work at 6:30 in the morning. That's my start time. I wake up at like 5, whatever. I got home. as soon as the game ended, I walked out, I did my outro, and I went straight home. And this sucks. That's another thing that sucks about this stuff is that sometimes I don't get to hang out with all the cool people in the parking lot and get their reactions or talk to them or hang out with them. But I left. I went straight right here and I started editing, and I only got through 5 minutes because of what this was. I was going maybe up until 2 a.m. editing the video, and then I literally had to go to sleep for half an hour. I woke up at half an hour later and finished it before I went to work. And
Wow.
then I uploaded it, or no, no, that's a lie. I backtrack. I didn't finish it. I had to take my computer with me to work, and then when it was busy, I finished it and then uploaded it through at my job, just so it would
Yeah.
be up.
That's
And
dedication.
I was like, yeah, it was annoying, definitely. But this time I made sure that things were better, and uploading that video beforehand or uploading the opening day boycott was a lot easier because now that I knew what that was like, I filmed things and I mapped things out of how things are gonna work and kind of cut things down because again there's so much stuff. So that's where music came in and kind of trying to shorten things without and showing those things without showing too much of something and not I guess like being afraid that oh I can't show this, but I want to show it but I can't. So like I just threw it into the little montage type of thing. So um I guess checking music beforehand also helps too to kind of set the mood. But I'm already like right now, I'm already planning on how to do the videos at the end of the season, both in Seattle and at the
Man.
last home game. Like I'm trying to figure out how I want it. Like I'm trying to figure out how to start it, how things are gonna be, and I can already tell you, like I won't shy away. I'm pretty sure most of you guys too. I'm most likely gonna be crying. Most of the time, I already told my girlfriend like, you gotta record me, you gotta record the surroundings around me, because I'm probably not gonna be all the way there, because like, I'm probably
Don't-
actually gonna be giving the
Yeah.
full emotion. It's not even
Don't
something that
record Rob because Rob's gonna be there with a wrench,
Screwdriver. Yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
just taking seats
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I will not be in that video.
I'll give you one.
All
But
right,
I
guys.
want
yeah,
to trop so bad, man. I got a bathroom in a new place, but a new office that'll fit just perfectly. I want to trop so freaking bad.
I mean, you got to start talking to you got to hire a metal worker now.
Yeah.
Go to a game, take a look, take measurements, and then
Yeah.
see, like, okay, how fast do you think we can rip
just
this
just
off
throw
the
in an
wall?
orange vest. The dudes in orange vest never get stopped for anything. So
I need to know how they're mounted to the wall, to be honest with you. That's what my key thing is, because that's all the thing right there.
Well,
But
you
I'll
just
drag
gonna,
that
you're
damn
just gonna
thing to
straight
the
up
hallway.
take one?
Gabe, I will not take anything. It's not mine, Gabe. Come on. I am not a thief, all right?
I'm just saying, if you hypothetically
He's
were to
going
take
to
one,
permanently
Gabe, you're-
borrow one.
Yeah, you're incriminating me by saying it like that. It's not like that, Gabe. I'm just gonna store it at my place.